Hey everyone, Sarah here. Welcome to episode 6 of Bringin Back Botany. Thank you to everyone who keeps watching, and thank you to all of our new viewers. I thought I'd give y'all a little change of pace. I'm still coming to y'all from Angelina County, Texas, but thought I'd give you a different scenery to feast your eyes upon. So with that, let's go find some plants.
Howdy everyone, coming at you with a new plant. And so the plant that we're looking at now has a pretty distinguishing fruit on it, and it's characteristic of the family in itself. And so we're currently looking at Carolina Geranium, or Geranium carolinianum. It's in the Geraniaceae family, and these are commonly called crane's bills due to the fruiting structure. And so Carolina Geranium typically blooms in this part of the world between February and May. They're a low, upright to sprawling annual or biennial species that have really fine and soft hairs on the stems. The plant in itself is solitary, coming out of the ground, as we can see there, but it's usually many branched at the base of the stem itself, and it comes up and produces leaves that can be up to 2 3/8 inches across, and they're alternate on the stem and very, very long stalked. And as you can see in that one, they're very deeply lobed, and they typically lobe into sections of 3 to 5, and those lobes in themselves are again deeply lobed. The flowers of Carolina Geranium are pretty small, and they can be up to about a ½ inch across. The flowers are distinctive in that they have 5 petals and 5 sepals, and the sepals are almost as long or longer than the petals. The petals can range from anywhere from a light pink to a deep rose color. And as you can see from this view, the sepals there are just a little bit longer than the petals of the flower. Now, the fruiting structure of Carolina Geranium is pretty unique in that it's an erect capsule-like structure that has seeds enclosed in carpels at the base of it. I'm coming at you with a new grass species, and this one's fairly distinctive. And so this is rescuegrass, or Bromus catharticus. It is a tufted annual species that can get up to about 80 centimeters tall. And there's 2 really distinctive characteristics on this plant if you're IDing it in the field.
The first distinguishing trait is the seed heads in themselves, and as you can see, they kind of make a V or a chevron pattern.
And secondly, it's going to have a very distinctive big membrane around the collar of the grass sheath in itself, and it's going to be membranous. And so I'll insert a photo to where you can actually see that defining characteristic. The inflorescence of rescuegrass is going to be an open panicle that can be 6 to 20 centimeters long, and it's going to be drooping in form, and it can have few or very, very many spikelets, and each of these spikelets are going to have 6 to 12 florets in them. The spikelets themselves are going to have glooms that are awnless, and the glooms are going to be unequal in length and shorter than the first floret of the inflorescence. And within each of the florets, the lemmas themselves are going to be awned or awnless. And a really distinct feature about the lemmas on this inflorescence is that if you can see it in the field, the lemma is going to have a bifid apex or a split, a forked apex, and that's what the lemma awn is going to protrude from. A final note on the spikelets of rescuegrass is that the lemmas in themselves are keeled or flattened, and so you have this very pancake-like compressed spikelet. A final distinguishing remark on rescuegrass vegetatively is that the leaf sheaths here are connate or fused all the way to the top, and this leaf sheath here can get super, super hairy as it gets towards the top of the sheath. Alright everyone, coming at you with a new plant. And the plant we're looking at is closely related to one that we have covered in a previous episode. And so the plant we're looking at right now is yellow wood sorrel, or Oxalis dillionii. It's in the Oxalidaceae family, blooms between February and November in this part of the world. And it's an upright or sprawling plant with a solitary stem that is multi-branched towards the base. And so you can see there how sprawling and expansive this kind of mat-forming species can be. It's characterized by a 5-petaled yellow flower that sometimes has red down in the basal parts of the petals. The flowers themselves can get to be about 1 inch per bloom, and there's typically 2 to 9 flowers per branching cluster area, but it's very common to find 1 as well. The leaves on yellow wood sorrel are going to be like the other wood sorrel that we saw, in that they're going to be alternate and very long stalked, and the leaf in themselves are going to be divided into the leaflets of 3 that kind of have that heart-shaped arrangement. And so this wood sorrel is pretty close to maturation, and so you can see the capsule fruits on it, but it still has a few blooms, and so it's just pretty neat to be able to see the plant and bloom and fruiting stage at the same time.